How do you get leads and close sales? And how about some really good leads, like amazing leads? They can't wait to buy your stuff. That's the strategy we're going to talk about today.
Cowboy.
Welcome to a daily dose of greatness quest with your host, Trevor Crane, my daddy. He is going to help you take your life and business to the next level.
Here I come to save the day.
Trevor Crane here, 11-time #1 best-selling author and the founder of Epic Author Publishing, coming to you live every day so you can plug in every day to build your ideal business so you can live your ideal life.
If my daddy can do it, then anybody can do it because he's a weirdo.
You're supposed to make me sound cool.
All right, so the other day, my daughter broke her arm. And she was running apparently full speed out on the playground. And she tripped on something and then sprawled, just completely just face planted. She scraped her knees, she scraped her hip, she scraped up the palms of her hands, her elbows, I think even, and she broke her wrist. And the school called me, and I actually didn't pick up the phone. I was on another call. So the school called her mom, and her mom actually picked her up, took her to the hospital, and bandaged her up. And now she's wearing this cast that is gigantic. It's bigger than her. I didn't even know her arm was this big. It's this big blue cast. And it's really cool because it's waterproof, apparently, which didn't used to be the way casts were back in the day. But she could jump in the pool, go swimming with it, all kinds of stuff. The challenge with this cast, other than the fact that it is now her new weapon, and it has beaten me in the face, in the arm, in the eye, in my man parts. This cast is a pain in the ass, but for my poor daughter, it itches. So she's got her whole arm in a cast, man, the whole elbow, like up to her, almost up to her armpit, all the way down to her wrist and covering over her hand. And she can't itch herself. So the doctors actually told her, don't stick anything in there. They didn't want it to get caught, and they didn't want her to cut herself. They didn't want her to put something sharp in there that would get irritated inside. And I thought this was insane. My poor daughter, like especially a cast that gets wet and sweats and different things, like she was itching. She was in tears about how bad her arm itched, and yet she couldn't scratch it. So here's, I think, is what you're looking for. If you're trying to identify new clients, one of the coolest things, like my daughter would have done anything to stop this, her arm from itching. When people have an itch, they want to scratch it. So our job when we're trying to find new clients is not to try to kind of find some new cool thing that we can say to people. We want to find those people that have such a burning desire, such an amazing pain in this case, that both my daughter and myself and her mom, we would have done anything, paid any money to go ahead and find somebody that could alleviate this pain, to be able to scratch this itch. So here's what we're oftentimes looking for, and I follow a lot of marketing guys. I follow a lot of mentors that try to help me improve my messaging and my marketing. And one of the most powerful things you can do is find big problems. So I more feel like when I hear a problem, I get excited. I get excited because this is an opportunity for me to help or serve. I actually have tried to condition my mind so that when I have a problem in my own life, I recognize that the bigger the problem I have, the bigger the payoff and benefit I'm going to get down the line. The bigger the problem that my clients have, I actually start to get almost giddy and excited because when they have a challenge, even when I am having a challenge, a personal or professional one, I know that on the back end of it, even though it may suck, I know, it sucks to go through a breakup. It sucks to have somebody put a new roof on your house and screw it up and then have to do it again, which has just happened to me recently. And actually they were fixing the roof and they didn't do it right, and now they're coming back to fix it again. The big pain in the ass. But see, on the back end of that, there's so many blessings. They're redoing my house right now. And there are so many cool things that are happening because of this roof issue. For example, I get to use it today in an example. The bigger the problem, the bigger the payoff. I feel like I'm more like Batman in a business suit, that I'm out there looking for problems. So what you want to do in your research are find the people that you want to help and serve, and then find out what their biggest problems are so that you can then go solve them. See, all too often I find people who are going through a challenging time themselves, and they lost their job or they want to do a new business, and then they're all focused on their new big idea. On, hey, this is going to be really great. I'm going to go ahead and help and serve in all these ways. But they're not focused on an ideal client that they want to work with. They don't know who they're necessarily helping because they want to help everybody. They wish someone would have helped them, and now they want to help everybody. When you want to help everybody, you're basically telling the world that you're looking to help nobody. And like, what problems do you solve? Well, I solve all problems. That basically is saying you don't solve any problems. There's a phrase, and it's called a jack of all trades is a master of none. So what you want to do is identify who you want to help and then what problems they're going through. Man, this attracts attention. See, if you find people who are thirsty, it's easy to sell them water. If you find people who have an itch, then they will pay anything for that scratch. So the bigger the problem, the bigger the payoff. Here's my challenge for you today, because we're going to keep this brief. In order to go ahead and do phenomenal marketing, so that you can create amazing leads where you find people who want to buy your stuff. The key is not about how amazing your stuff is. It needs to be amazing. It needs to create amazing results. It does need that. But what you want to find are people out there who have a big problem, who have something that they need solved. The bigger the problem, the bigger the payoff. So go out there and do a little bit of research. That's my action plan for you today. Find out big problem that exists out there with a company, an organization, a group, some type of demographic. Find out their big concern, their big itch, that big problem. And then see, they are currently today pissed off and itching and wishing somebody could help them scratch that itch. And then it's really not much of a sales process at that stage because they're just so desperate. Here's what happened with my daughter. I got her a hanger. And I folded it, and my daughter wants to follow the rules, so she didn't want to stick this hanger inside her cast because the doctor told her not to, and her mom told her not to. And so we folded the hanger in half so it didn't have a sharp edge, and now this new wire hanger is her best friend. Didn't cost anything, took a little bit of creativeness to go ahead and figure out how to itch inside that cast, but my daughter now is satiated. You want to find people who are dying and desperate to be with a problem that you can go ahead and help and serve, and then leads and sales aren't a problem. Because now you just got to get your message in front of them. Hope that was helpful for you today. Here's my challenge to you. Go out, find a big problem that you can help and serve. Make a whole list of them, of the different problems that are out there. And then you can go ahead and find cool ways that you can either solve those problems for them, or maybe be the conduit sometimes that helps them find the resource that can solve those problems. That's all I have for you today. Remember, if you're getting some value from our podcast here, make sure that you share this with someone that you like and love and care about so they can get the same results. And then please make sure that you go to iTunes and comment and like and share this with people. I already said that. Make today magnificent, and make sure you go take your action step today. All right? Have a great one.
To get even more awesomeness, which means all my best stuff, download my app by texting Trevor to 36260. It will show up right on your cell phone. Just text message the word Trevor to 36260. Talk to you soon.